Hi, my name is David Clark. I'm 48 years old and I am a father of three, and I live in Boulder, Colorado. My father is my hero. My father is my best friend. And my father was diagnosed with advanced, incurable cancer. As strange as it sounds, one of the first things that popped into my mind when I found out my dad was on limited time was hockey. I thought of how happy we were when the New York Rangers won the Stanley Cup in '93. I thought about all the times I played pond hockey with my dad as a kid. And I thought about my own son playing hockey and how the three of us used to watch hockey together. In one of our conversations, my father told me, "Take the war to cancer, son. Let people out there know that they're not alone." So I decided to pick a fight with cancer. And I knew that the hockey community would have my back. So I decided to ride my fat bike through the dead of winter to 6 NHL cities for Hockey Fights Cancer. In the military, soldiers say, "Don't worry about what's happening behind you. You fight the battle. I got your six." We started our 6-city NHL ride in Chicago, where the Chicago Blackhawks play. We made it all the way to Detroit, but not without facing freezing, bone-chilling temperatures and traffic that just would not let up. In Ohio, I encountered 20-mile-per-hour crosswinds, headwinds, and icy roads that just made keeping the bike moving an impossible task at times. We crossed the state line into Pennsylvania, and it didn't get any easier. The climbs went on for hours, over the Alleghenies, over the Blue Ridge Mountains. Mind-numbing fast descents. But before I reached Pittsburgh, my dad called me.
He thinks it's everywhere, and he's just in pain 24/7. And I knew this would happen, or it could happen on the ride, so I asked him if he just wanted me to come home and be with him. And he said, there's not much I can do for him now. He said to go out and show people that we're taking the war to cancer. Every day is precious, especially now. But so that's what we're gonna do. It's
He told me that he was in unbearable pain and that he was afraid that maybe the cancer that was in his bones was more powerful than the pain medications that they could give him. He didn't want to tell me that because he knew it would weigh on my mind, but he wanted to communicate to me what his battle was so that I could share it with everyone else. My father told me to keep riding, to keep going. After days and days of pushing through the freezing rain, my body started to fall apart. My knees gave out on me almost completely. It felt like there were shards of glass rubbing against the inside of my kneecaps every time I turned the pedals. But I was heading to Philadelphia, and more specifically to Valley Forge. I chose Valley Forge as one of the stops along the route because it meant so much to my dad. And when I was just a kid, my dad took me to Valley Forge and pointed out into the fields and told me about the amazingly brave soldiers who, before we were even a country, stood out there in the frozen snow on their hats because they didn't even have shoes to wear, just for the privilege of fighting and dying in an impossible war. With that in my mind, there is no way that I was going to lit up. But eventually a thought hit me. My dad doesn't get off the bike. People out there fighting, they don't get to get off the bike. So I rode as hard as I could for Valley Forge. I put my head down and turned the pedals until eventually I looked behind me and there was a stream of cars and police and people that had my size.
That was for my dad. He doesn't get to quit when it hurts.
From Philly, we set out for New Jersey, and each night brought a new exchange, a new battle, a new puzzle to solve. I talked to my dad every night. Some nights it felt like I was encouraging him. Other nights he absolutely kept me going. All the way to New York, my hometown, my dad's hometown, the place where our beloved New York Rangers play.
Made it. Madison Square Garden, New York City.
And for me, the journey was over. I got to get off my bike and go sleep. But not without knowing that for some people, they didn't get to go home. They didn't get to see the mileage tally add up to the point where the pain ends. They don't know when the pain's gonna end. They gotta keep going no matter what. When I was visiting my dad in the hospital, I couldn't help but be just blown away by the unimaginable courage that he shows. I saw him stare into the face of his own mortality. Cancer doesn't give a crap about you, who you are, how good a person you are, how old you are, or how much life you've lived. It doesn't care. My hope is that somebody out there fighting, someone out there struggling, will see this ride and be inspired. That they might see us out there, and seeing me on my bike might just give them one small flicker of hope that they didn't have before. I see what you're doing. I see your fight, and I support you. I'm hoping someone will open up their phone to social media or turn on the TV and hear about this ride and think, I could do that. I could do that. I hope that someone out there who's feeling powerless, supporting a loved one, and they might see me out there on my bike and just feel some small sense of hope. A fight is a fight. Whether in the ring, on a bike, or in a hospital bed, the rules are the same. You must keep going until your opponent quits or until you reach the end. And sometimes, when you're going up a mountain You got to turn the pedals even harder as the road rises in front of you. Sometimes we have to empty the tank to push and move and fight until we squeeze every ounce of effort, every ounce of energy that's left in our body. We push and we push until it's all gone. That's what we need to do to reach the summit. And when you crest that hill and you start the descent, you gotta let go of the brakes and descend fearlessly. As that bike picks up speed, death is around every turn. But somehow you find a way to let go and smile into it. And you let that bike pick up momentum. And when you hit the bottom and the next hill comes, you attack that son of a bitch too. In the hardest of times, it comes down to asking ourselves a simple question. What do I want to be made of? Did I rise to the challenge and help other people fighting? Did I fight hard myself? How do you respond when you want to quit? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you're safe at home and you say, oh, I'll never quit. I've got no fear. They can't break me. None of that crap matters. It matters what you think when you do want to quit. When quitting sounds like the best scenario you've ever heard of, can you just pick up the pieces and keep going? The pain is inevitable. Death is inevitable. But the suffering's optional. My dad taught me that the man who can't be discouraged is bulletproof.
Never quit while climbing.
We've all heard that we should live every day like we're dying. But usually what happens is by the time we know we're dying, it's too late to go out and do anything. So if we just turn that around just a little bit, and instead of living every day like we're dying, we live every day and treat everybody else we meet like this might be their last. We'll be a little more kind, be a little more compassionate, because everybody out there is fighting a battle. You don't know what that person who's honking behind you in traffic or cutting in front of you in line, you don't know what battle they're facing. So let's honor those amazingly brave people out there fighting every day. There's so many people out there that would give anything to be able to get on their bike and ride across the country, or to go out in the world and volunteer some time and stop by a hospital and support other people, take things to people that need it. They would do anything to have a body that would allow them to do that. So let's you and me be good stewards of our time and connect to everyone out there. To live every single day we have to the absolute maximum effort level we can think of. And maybe together we can kick the ever-loving crap out of cancer and wipe that son of a bitch off the map.